What if I were to tell you that you could get quality, expert, knowledgeable real estate representation for free? Would you do it? Good day, everybody. I'm Connor McIver, Remax's Paris Nival One Team. What a way to start the week, Monday. Look at the weather. I think that heat spell that we've had for the past little while may have lifted. I haven't looked at the calendar for the coming week. Watched Saturday Night Live for the first time this Saturday in a long time. It was okay. They did a little spoof on the Democratic National Convention debate. Not bad. Alec Baldwin doesn't look like he did in Glengarry Glen Ross. And we will now move on to the day's events. All right, so last 7 days in real estate. Before we get to our hiring somebody for free thing, last 7 days in real estate in the Santa Clarita Valley brought 83 new listings. 69 properties had their prices changed. Now, for each one of the new listings, all you have to do is go to scvnest.com. scvnest.com. The newest will be published first, so you'll see the newest listings, and you'll also see them as they come on the market. Now, you want to see where the radio show lives. That's going to be at housingradio.com, housingradio.com. So make sure you go there and check it out. It is just the player, folks. Nothing fancy. All you have to do is just click on the picture of the motor cop there. You'll be able to listen to that particular day's show. And underneath it is the access point for all the other shows that we've done from the past. And I was talking to somebody a couple days ago, and I was trying to remember when I actually started doing podcast broadcasting. And I remember the first microphone I had was basically a digital recorder that I would upload the file. But I don't recall where it lived, but I don't think there were any platforms out there. Like today we use SoundCloud. That's the primary player. And it's also the housing center for the data. So when I do the show, it uploads to SoundCloud. I can then plug in text. Like, for example, doing this show today, there'll be show notes. There'll be a link in the actual show that'll have access points to the new listings and the other information that we talk about. There'll also be a blog post, something that I'll write at blog.paris911.com, which is the place where Market Mondays lives. That's the place online where we put it. So you'll be able to go there. You can see past Market Monday verbiage talking about resources, talking about what's going on. And the markets, you can go check that out there. And today, that's where the show will end up being too. So the access point for all of these is going to come down to the episode number. Today's happens to be 2015-292. And that number, the 292, 2015 is the year. 292 happens to be the day of year. So we're at the 292nd day of 2015. That's today. That's Monday. It's so exciting. This coming week, we do have a Travel Tuesdays broadcast. Where online can you find the best real estate resources? And what we do is we actually build different items for our clients. Somebody will come to me with a question. Hey, Connor, I just want to look for 3-bedroom homes in North Park here in Valencia. And I actually only want this particular builder, so I'm willing to wait till a home in this particular tract built by this particular builder comes up for sale. Then I say, well, sure, I can search for that specific tract, a home in the area. Plus, what we also will do, we'll go ahead and run out there and start banging on some doors, because there can't be more than a couple hundred, 300, 400 at the most. That's a few hours in an afternoon, me banging on doors. Hey, listen, I have a real live buyer, not some kind of a game. Because you'll get that a lot. You're a real estate owner, live in a particular home. Sometimes you're going to have somebody knock at your door handing you something, stating, hey, I actually have a buyer for your home. And what they're handing you are comparables or some kind of information about who they are and so on. Folks, a lot of times that's a game. But if at that particular moment you're thinking about selling, then say, write me an offer. Tell the agent to write you an offer. Get your client together, write me an offer. You'll find 99.9% of the time,
never happen, you'll never get an offer. So that's just the way that whole little game works. Write me an offer, that's what you need to say. All right, so let's talk about costs in real estate. You're a real estate buyer, you're buying a home, and you're wondering, what do you charge, Connor, to represent me with all of your vast knowledge and experience, having done this at least twice? Well, what's going to happen is you're going to pay closing costs, but I'm not part of that. Whenever you're utilizing my services as your real estate representative, as a real estate buyer, I'm free. Even in new housing, resale housing. Doesn't matter who the seller is. Doesn't matter that there's another agent involved. I get compensated, and my services for you are free. I'm not part of what's known as your closing costs. I am free. So the sellers pick it up my tab. Doesn't have to be my seller. In fact, if you look at that question, people ask it. We get this quite a bit. So should I go with the seller's agent or should I have you represent me? Well, there's two parts to that commission built into the for sale homes anyway, and that's for a reason. In fact, even the new home builders understand that some people want their own representative, somebody that's on their side 100%, that has nothing between themselves and the seller. So it happens. And when our sellers say, well, how can you say this? I have John Doe agent telling me that they potentially have a buyer, and if they do, it's going to save me on commission. At the end of the day, when that all plays out, what you ended up doing most of the time is selling your house for less than what you could have gotten if you would have advertised it to the masses. So everybody could have seen it. Instead of trusting that this one agent has the best buyer. I mean, so I have something that I'm selling, like a pin, and it's a nice pin. I'm not going to just take it to one person. I want everybody to see the pin, touch the pin, write with the pin, and make me an offer on the pin. And then somebody says, well, I'll give you $10 for it. I'll say, well, Jack over here says he'll give me 11. Well, I'll give you 12, and so on and so forth. Well, the same thing applies to real estate, just the numbers are a whole bunch bigger. So you want to consider these things. How much? Well, free. That's what it costs to be represented as a buyer in real estate by us. Watch the process, the beginning, the end. We explain all the components. We make sure our clients are well protected. If you come to the table with your own lender, then we're going to scrutinize them just like the lenders we refer and recommend. And if you're coming to us for a loan, maybe lender A that we love and work with is going to be the best choice. But maybe not. Maybe lender B would be better. Maybe you need some kind of a special grant program. Maybe you're income limited. Maybe you need somebody that can do different types of financing. Well, so we know where all that fits. Also, when it comes to purchasing residential real estate, getting involved in the escrow process, there are different components to that as well, different vendors, different players, and it's important that those vendors and players have been vetted by us so we know that they're performers. We know they're going to do the right job, or the best job as well. Buying real estate in a car paid off 5, 6, 7 years. Real estate is a lot more expensive and takes at least 30 years to get paid off. Plus, you're living there. You're functioning there. You're sleeping and you're eating and you're entertaining and you're raising and you're doing all of these things in real estate. There's a lot of things to watch. So that's it. So we're free. So if you get asked how much is your agent charging you to represent you as a buyer, See, our agent, Connor McIver, isn't charging us anything. It's part of the seller costs. And the seller is the one that's telling the world, hey, I've hired my own agent. I'm offering another agent to represent you, the buyer, in the purchase of my home. Because the sellers also get it. It's nice to have their own agent on their side, on the seller's side, 100% too. Because now they can look out for the seller. I'm Connor McIver. I hope you enjoyed today's Monday Market broadcast, Market Mondays. We will be back tomorrow. Travel Tuesday's broadcast, talking about things that we build. Wednesday, that's going to be an exciting show. We're going to talk about the foreclosure REO market that we see out here in Santa Cruz Valley, what current listings there are, and what we can expect to unfold in the future. Short sales seem to be on the rise. We'll get to that Wednesday. Thursday, Truth in Lending. We'll get into the interest rate deal and find out where our interest rate's going to be through 2016. And finally, we have our Friday finale broadcast. Sold Saturdays coming up, and then open house Sundays. We'll back to Monday again. Have a great week, everybody. Happy Monday, if that could happen. And call us when you're ready. Be safe. Connor McIver over and out.